Hey everyone! In this video, we'll take a look at the middle section of the panel, which is divided into 7 modules: Capture, Retouch, Portrait and Beauty, Landscape and Astro, Masking and Blend If, Color Grading, and finally, the Custom Brushes module. The Capture module consists of Develop and Output sections. Let's begin with the Develop section. The Camera Raw button opens up the Camera Raw filter interface. The Smart Copy button creates a new smart object via copy, which is not linked to its origin layer. So, for raw files that are opened as a smart object, the new duplicate smart object layer will be an independent copy. And if the layer is a pixel layer, the Smart Copy button creates a duplicate layer first, and then converts it into a smart object layer. The Edit Smart command lets you edit the contents of a smart object layer. The White Balance button creates a daylight balanced layer to correct the white balance of the image. If required, adjust the opacity to find the perfect balance. The Saturation Fix button decreases the saturation from oversaturated areas in order to achieve the perfect balance in saturation. HDR Tone opens up the details in the shadows and recovers the highlights if they are not completely clipped. You can adjust the opacity slider to control the dynamic range of your image. Before using the Denoise or the Sharpen button, make sure only one document is open before proceeding. Denoise creates an adjustable smart noise reduction layer while protecting the edge details with a mask. This is one of the best noise reduction technique, which results in smooth transitions without blurring any important details. Sharpen creates an adjustable smart sharpen layer, which mainly targets the edge details with a mask. Holding Alt or Option key when clicking the Sharpen button creates a masked sharpen layer for you to paint in the details, so you can choose whichever option fits your workflow better. The 3D Detail button will give your image a three-dimensional medium format look by adding ultrafine sharp details and a smooth transition in the out-of-focus areas. The CA Removal button removes the green fringes chromatic aberration from your image. If required, you can fine-tune it further from the Optics section in the Camera Raw adjustment filter. Holding Alt or Option key when clicking the CA Removal button removes the purple fringes chromatic aberration from your image. The Halo Removal removes all the sharpening halos from subjects shot against high-contrast sky background. If required, you can click on the Halo Removal once more to remove the edge halo completely. The ProMist FX filter creates a soft and controlled highlight flare, but with less lightening of shadows for a more delicate and dreamy cinematic effect. The Structure button emphasizes the details in the texture areas of the image. The matte finish gives the image a matte look by slightly fading the blacks and whites. The intensity of this effect can be controlled individually with the shadows and highlights layers. Film Grain adds an authentic layer of film grain over the image. You can adjust the layer opacity to fine-tune the intensity of the film grain. Holding Alt or Option key when clicking the Film Grain button uses the Camera Raw filter to add film grain on a smart object layer. Vignette lets you add a smooth dark vignette layer around the corners of the image. If required, you can adjust the layer opacity to control the intensity. The Center Fill button adds a soft glow to brighten the image center. You can adjust the layer opacity to control the intensity. Place Image lets you choose an image file from your computer that you'd want to place in the open document. Holding the Alt or Option key when hovering over the Place Image button switches to the Texture Overlay button. Texture Overlay lets you choose an image or a texture file from your computer and places it as a layer overlay set to the Soft Light Layer blend mode. The Transform tool will be selected for you to resize the texture image. The Brush tool will also be selected for you in case you want to mask out important areas of the original image. You can always change the texture layer's blend mode to multiply or screen, depending on the effect you're going for. The Open Doc button triggers the Open Document interface for you to choose an image file and open it in Photoshop. The Duplicate Doc button creates a duplicate independent copy of your document from its current history state. Under the Actions drop-down menu on the panel, you can link all your favorite and most used actions from any other set. To assign your existing actions, all you have to do is drag them to the action set named Post Pro User Actions that you installed in your Actions palette. You can add as many actions you want and even rename and reorder them in the list. Next is the Output section. The Color Profile drop-down button gives you options to convert the document into sRGB, Adobe RGB, ProPhoto RGB, or CMYK color profile. The 8-bit and 16-bit buttons convert the document's bit depth to 8 or 16 bits per channel. The image size button opens up the image size interface to let you resize your image. You also have 4 watermark options. The watermark will automatically resize and be set at 30% layer opacity. You can choose to place your watermark on the bottom right, bottom left, top right, or top left corners of the image. The Save As drop-down menu gives you instant access to export your final image as a JPG, PNG, PSD, PSB, TIFF, PDF, or a GIF file format. In the next video, we'll continue with the retouch module of the panel's midsection.